Hello everyone, I'm Josh Rubenstein, the Public Information Director for the Los Angeles Police Department. The LAPD has produced this critical incident community briefing to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred at White Memorial Hospital in the city of Los Angeles on June 9th, 2018. This briefing is intended to provide you with relevant video footage, audio recordings, photographs, and other evidence to inform the public about what occurred based on our understanding at this early stage of the investigation. The LAPD thoroughly investigates every use of physical force, especially when criminal suspects or other members of the public died or were seriously injured. These extensive investigations involve interviewing all available witnesses, examining all video and audio recordings, collecting and analyzing numerous pieces of physical evidence, and reviewing autopsy and toxicology reports. Please keep in mind that we are at the very preliminary stage of this investigation and that our understanding of what happened may change as the evidence is collected and analyzed. This is why the LAPD does not make any conclusions about whether the officer's conduct was appropriate until the entire investigation is complete. A word of caution to sensitive viewers. This video briefing may contain graphic images and strong language. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, or a suspect uses violence against another person, it can be disturbing and difficult to watch. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
Hello. I'm Commander Alan Hamilton of the Force Investigation Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm going to give you an overview of an officer-involved shooting resulting in the death of a suspect that occurred within the LAPD's Hollenbeck area. On June 8, 2018, at around 11:40 p.m., officers assigned to the Hollenbeck Gang Enforcement Detail arrested Omar Magana for robbery of a street vendor in Lincoln Heights. There were 14 911 calls associated with Magana, including a hit and run and several robberies. Here are two of those calls.
911 emergency, 429.
Hi, I'm calling from Mozart and Daly in Los Angeles and Lincoln Heights. There's a guy did a hit and run, left his car at the intersection and set the trunk on fire.
Okay,
It's just at the intersection burning.
Hold on while I connect to the fire department. Don't hang up.
Fire paramedics, operator 184. What is the address of the emergency?
Well, it's the intersection of Mozart and Daly in Lincoln Heights. The nearest location is the Guadalupana Market.
Okay, your phone number is 505-6.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm
what's the
just
emergency there? What's
witnessing
going
this,
on?
so I'm just a resident nearby, but
What's the emergency?
there's a car on fire. This car did a hit and run, and then he backed out into the intersection, and the guy very slowly got out and lit the back of his car on fire. It's a black Honda Civic, and it's just in the intersection burning right now.
Now on emergency 932?
Yes, right now some guy was robbing this man. We need assistance right here on Broadway and which street is it? Broadway and Workman.
Okay, did you see what that person looked like?
Yeah, he was male Hispanic. He was wearing all black with black with blue white bandana on his face. And
Which way did he run off in?
he ran to the parking lot. He had like a walkie-talkie with him.
Parking lot, where is that at? Towards what street?
Towards, I don't know the name of the street. What's the name of the street?
This one right here is Workman.
Workman?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a vendor. And he got stabbed. He needs assistance.
Paramedics too?
Yes, we need paramedics here
Get
too.
on the phone line, okay? Hold on.
Based on these calls and officers' investigations, Magana was also suspected of committing a hit-and-run traffic collision, arson, and a series of robberies. Magana was transported to Hollenbeck Police Station, where he was placed in a holding cell while the officers processed the paperwork needed to book him into an LAPD jail facility. While in the holding cell, it appeared Magana may be suffering from a seizure. Officers then called the Los Angeles Fire Department and requested a rescue ambulance and paramedics to examine Magana. After examining Magana, the paramedics indicated that Magana may have been feigning a seizure. Nevertheless, Magana was transported by ambulance to White Memorial Hospital to make sure he was not experiencing a seizure or other medical condition. 2 officers who were not involved in Magana's initial arrest accompanied him to White Memorial Hospital. Magana was handcuffed while in the paramedics' gurney to reduce the risk that he would try to escape or pose a danger to the paramedics and medical staff. Although the transporting officers were assigned body-worn video cameras, officers are not required to record video while in a patient care area of a hospital, such as an emergency room or a treatment room, unless they take an enforcement action. This policy provision is intended to protect the privacy of patients obtaining medical treatment. After arriving at the hospital, Magana was examined in the emergency room and then transferred to another room for a CT scan ordered by the physician at about 5 a.m. on June 9th. This CCTV footage shows Magana at the hospital in the gurney and escorted by paramedics and the officer. The officers removed Magana's handcuffs so the medical technician could conduct the CT scan. After the scan was complete, the officers approached Magana to place him back in handcuffs. Magana, however, jumped out of the gurney and shoved one of the officers toward the corner of the room, knocking him to the ground. During the struggle, Magana then grabbed the officer's handgun and tried to pull it from the holster. The officer then yelled to his partner that Magana had his gun. The partner officer, concerned that Magana would get the officer's gun and use deadly force, drew his handgun and fired 3 shots at Magana, causing him to release his partner's gun. Here's the radio broadcast from the officers.
4-2, shots fired. Officer needs help. Side. Officer needs help.
All units unknown, officer needs help. Officer needs help, unknown location. All units, officer needs help, unknown location. Request from backup unit supervisor.
Emergency medical personnel immediately attended to Magana, and he was transported by ambulance to USC Medical Center because of the nature of his injuries. Magana later died at the hospital. The LA County Coroner's Office has not yet completed its autopsy report or toxicology tests. Omar Magana was a 34-year-old resident of Los Angeles. At the time of his arrest, he was on parole for robbery. He also had 2 prior convictions for robbery.
In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident as witnesses come forward and the toxicology and other forensic tests are completed. The Civilian Board of Police Commissioners will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officers' tactics and use of force met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. Thank you for watching this community briefing. You can also find out more information on how the LAPD and the LA District Attorney's Office investigates all officer-involved shootings and other serious uses of force at lapdonline.org. There you'll also be able to find copies of the LAPD's use of force policies and procedures. Thank you for joining us for this critical incident community briefing.